Hey, what's up everyone, Hamza1 here, and today I am on an air world, as you can see, with this contraption that I've just created, and I'm just getting around to making a video of. So this is, as the title suggests, or as the title says, an infinitely expandable super smelter that you can expand by 18 furnaces at a time, infinitely if you want it. I don't know why you would want to do it infinitely, but maybe 2 or 3 times. It's got 2 rows of 9 furnaces for this basic version, and then at the end of the video I'll show you how to expand it as many times as you want. It's basically just repeating the same thing over and over again and extending these hoppers and stuff like that. And it has a few different parts. It's got this red circuit right here, which is a standard etho clock with 7 items in the hoppers. And then the blue circuit, which turns on and off these powered rails to make these minecarts go when the system is switched on. There's the gray circuit, which actually turns the system on and off. So as you can see, if I just flick that, the minecarts will start going, as you can see. And yeah, you can just turn it off. And then we have the magenta and lime, which is just a slightly overcomplicated dropper system to make sure that all of the smelted items get up to the output chest not at the same time, but all of them get up to these chests without any of them getting lost, and by getting lost I mean getting stuck in one of the droppers. So if we just put some items in here and wait for them to drain out, you will want to wait for the items to drain out, because if you do not, sometimes you will lose a few items somehow, because I guess just minecarts and hoppers are weird. But yeah, we can just then flick this thing on, and as you can see, these furnaces will all turn on. The first furnace will have less items. That is the only other inefficiency of this design, besides the fact that if you don't let the items drain out, it will sometimes lose some. But the first furnace will get a few less items. Depending on how many items you put in, it may not even get any items to smelt, and the rest will get 2, but because we put just in half a stack. But as you can see, if we come up to this chest, you can see that it's starting to fill up with iron. And this pink circuit is just, it's optional. You do not need it at all. It's just, I only made it, put it here because I wanted this lever to actually do something. And so all it does is just lock the fuel chest. So as you can see, if I just grab something and stick it in there, it won't drain out and go into the fuel minecarts. So that's nice. And as you can see, up here we now have our 32 iron. So we can just go ahead and flick this thing off. And voila. So now, let's crack on with this tutorial. Alright, so before we start the tutorial, I want to address something. The thing I want to address is that this system needs to be facing east or west. It will not work if it is facing north or south, because of the way that rails work. These would all connect, and it would be a mess, and it wouldn't work. So it has to be facing east-west. That is the only slight problem, but since it is in the floor, that should not be a problem, because you can just face it any direction you pretty much want. Just have it underneath your base. Because it is underneath the floor, you do not require a wall. But anyways, we're going to get things started with the magenta and half of the lime circuit. So you just want to come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks from the bottom side. And this is 4 blocks wide and 19 blocks long and 9 blocks deep. So you're going to have to dig down 9 blocks and make a miniature cavern, which is 4 blocks long and 19 blocks wide. So you just want to come in 5 blocks from the front, just like so, and you want to place 2 droppers facing upwards, just like that. You then want to have a comparator facing out of that dropper, set to subtract mode, facing into a block with a block next to that dropper, with redstone dust on this block, and redstone dust next to that block as well, and you want to separate those, and put a block next to the bottom redstone dust with a repeater facing out of that block, going into a piece of redstone dust, which is going to be facing back into this comparator. Then you're just going to want to place a redstone torch on the side of this block and have a repeater, no, redstone dust facing out here with a repeater there. It's going to be running up into a block with redstone dust on top of it. That is going to be powering this top dropper here. So now, as you can see, if we just chuck something into that bottom dropper, it will make its way up to the top. Now what you want to do is come over here and place these 2 green blocks here and a green block above that repeater, and place 3 droppers facing upward just like that, and remove that block there. Then you want to have green blocks like this, or it doesn't have to be green blocks, it can be any block, but blocks like that, with a comparator facing out of the bottom dropper set to subtract mode, facing into a repeater on 2 ticks, which will be facing into a block, and it's going to be powering this redstone dusts here, just like so. And then you're going to want to have dust coming up here and facing into a block here. Then you're going to want to take hoppers and face them just like that into that bottom dropper coming up from this top dropper, and put a repeater above that hopper facing into that dropper on 2 ticks, and cut those redstone dusts off so that this will face into that block. And then you just want to place blocks above this comparator and repeater with redstone dust here and here, and a repeater set to 3 ticks right there. So next, what you want to do is come around to the back of your area, and on the right middle block, you want to come 4 blocks in and place 2 hoppers facing into each other, just like that. You then want to have comparators facing out of those hoppers, with facing into blocks with redstone dust on top, just like this. And you want to have sticky pistons on the side of the redstone dust, just like this, with the redstone block on the face of one of those sticky pistons. You then just want to go into one of your hoppers and place 7 items into it. And as you can see, the ether clock will then begin working. And you can just place a redstone block next to this dust here to turn it off. Then to begin your blue circuit, you just want to place blocks like this, coming around the hopper clock with redstone dust connecting to that redstone block, and coming around to a repeater so that it doesn't connect with that dust. And just like this, here it will connect, but that is okay because of that repeater. And then you just want to have a repeater right here facing into a block that will be powering redstone dust on the faces of these blocks right here, which will be powering these repeaters, which will go into this miniature torch tower just like this. You want to have torches here with blocks on top of them, with torches on the sides of those. And you just want to have blocks on the side and above those torches, just like so. And with the redstone dust on these 2 blocks here. And you're going to get this weird looking shape, and that is exactly what you want. So next you're going to create the actual furnace ray. So you just want to take your furnaces and start placing them right next to that torch there. And we'll place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once again, this is infinitely expandable, and I'll be showing you how to expand it at the end of the video. You just want to do the same thing on the other side. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. You just want to have hoppers facing into the backs of all those furnaces, just like this, and on the other side as well, and like this, so. And then you just want to go underneath and make sure that they're all facing the right direction. And as you can see, they are not. This one here is facing into that one, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix that. Then you're going to put hoppers facing into the tops of all the furnaces, just like that, and make sure they're all facing downwards, and on the other side as well. You then want to take blocks, and on the top row you want to go off 1, 2, just like that, with a block up, and 1, 2, and a block up. And then on the bottom row you just want to go 1 block and a block up, 1 block and a block up. Then you just want to come over here, place blocks above those redstone dusts, and place blocks here, and blocks up like this. Then what you want to do is start placing in your rails, and you have to be careful how you do this, because rails are weird. So you just want to start on the bottom row, just like this, and you want to start by placing powered rail there, and then skip this block here, and just place powered rails along all these hoppers, just like so. And then you just want to go over here, and place powered rails in above all of these, just like so. Then you want to come over here, and place a regular rail there, powered rail there, regular rail there. Then you just want to come up here, and you can place all your powered rails in, just like this. And on the top row, you can use all powered rails. You should use all powered rails. And then you just want to take redstone block and put it on the last row of hoppers/furnaces right here. Alright, so now you're going to be finishing off your line circuit. So which one you want to do is come over this block here and place 1, 2, 3, 4 droppers facing upward, just like that, with 2 hoppers connecting this dropper and that dropper, just like so. You then want to place a block next to that dropper there, and 2 blocks down from it, a comparator facing out of that block, which will be getting a signal from the items in that dropper. Place that in subtract mode, have it facing into a repeater on 2 ticks, which will be facing into a block, and have blocks coming out like this with the redstone dust on all these. That's going to connect with that comparator. I'm going to have a repeater here on 1 tick facing into a block with redstone dust on top of it, just like that. Then you want to come up on the blocks above the comparator and repeater, just like that, and come out here as well. Then you just want to place dust, dust, dust on those 3 blocks, and have 2 repeaters there and 2 repeaters there. These are going to be set to 2 ticks, and this is going to be set to, one of them needs to be set to 2 ticks, the other one set to 1 tick, and then this repeater here is going to be facing into a block with a redstone torch on top. So next you just want to take chest and put a double chest above the dropper and redstone torch there, and separated by a block, just like this, you want to have a double trap chest. And over here, you want to have another double trap chest. And then you can just place blocks like this. And then you want to have levers on these outside blocks, just like so. So if you just place all these in, just have a lever here. And then you want to take hoppers and have a hopper facing into that powered rail there. Just have 3 coming up right into that half of this trap chest. And then over here, you just want to have hoppers coming up like this, going down from the other half of that double trap chest. And then you want to place hoppers up from that powered rail there, all the way up to your floor, and have it come across to one half of the chest. And over here, you just want to come up 2, and then have 1 facing like this, across like this, and up 2. And make sure that there is a air block right here. There's a 1 block space of air, or else it will not work, because all these hoppers will get jumbled up and your fuel will not be equally distributed. So next, to make your on and off system, you just want to put a block diagonal to this dropper here, to this hopper here, so that that lever can power the redstone on top of it, and make sure that this block is not powering any hoppers around it, or else it will completely mess up the system. Then you just want to place a slab here, down from that block, so that it does not interact with that powered rail there. And then just have blocks coming out like this and going all the way down above the redstone block and down here. And then you just want to have a line of redstone going along all of those blocks, like so. You then want to place an updater piston here, with a sticky piston below it with a redstone block on its face, just like this, with another sticky piston next to that redstone block, which will extend and connect to this redstone block that you should already have here. If this isn't here, then go ahead and place it in. Next, what you want to do is go a block up right here next to that dust over there, and place a block above that dust, and dust right here, and that block, so that those 2 do not connect, or else it will not work very well. Then you just want to go a block down from the dust and come along all the way along like this. Then you just want to place a block next to where this redstone block is, right below here. And then you get a repeater output from that, and that's going to be going into the side of a repeater, and it's going to be locking it to prevent this system to be turned on and off at bad times, so that the minecarts are going to be doing weird things. Then you just want to come over here and connect that dust to a sticky piston, which when turned on, when the system is turned on, that sticky piston will have that block be pushed out. When it is off, it will have it be pulled back. So as you can see, now if we flick it on, you can see it starts changing. Then if we flick it off, these powered rails turn off, and all is well. Last of all, if you want to make the optional pink circuit, you just want to place 4 blocks just like this, with repeaters facing into those 2 hoppers there, and redstone dust just like this. So as you can see, when we flick that lever, They should all turn on and lock our fuel chest. Turn it off, then those items will go down to here. Just like this. So now to finish it all off, you just want to add in all your hoppers that are going to be underneath these furnaces. So you just want to come down to this dropper here and place hoppers facing downwards like this, or hoppers facing sideways like this. And then you can just have a dropper here, or you can have a hopper facing downwards as well. It doesn't matter. Just some item that just some block that has an inventory. And that's just so you can save a hopper. I use a dropper because that is the cheapest item with an inventory. The cheapest block with an inventory. And yeah. You then just want to take your hoppers and run them all the way along like this. Underneath those furnaces. You want to go one past the furnaces and bring them through this hole, just like that. And just bring them back underneath these furnaces, like so. And this should be your whole system done. So you just want to chuck in your minecarts with hoppers in here. And then you can just grab your fuel. So I'll just be using, say, coal. And you can put that in your fuel chest, like so. Then you can grab your stuff that you're going to be smelting. So I'll just grab a half stack of iron and stick it in there. As you can see, all the stuff is making its way into these hoppers, or into these minecarts, I should say. All the iron is going in there, and all the coal is going in here. So then you can just flick this on, and as you can see, these all turn on, except for the last one, for the reason that I explained a minute ago, with that over there. And that is it if you're just building the standard 18 furnace version. So now for those of you that want to expand it, I'm going to be showing you how. If you do not want to expand it, then you can just click off the video right now, go watch something else, or just go do anything else that you want to do in your life, or you can just go build this by rewatching the tutorial. But anyways, let's get on with expanding this thing. So I just now found a bug that for some reason, sometimes if this repeater is set to 1 tick, the system will actually lose one item in this dropper right here. There will be an item. And so to fix that, all you want to do is just simply come around to this repeater right here and set it to 2 ticks, and that should fix up all your problems. So if you want to expand the system beyond the normal 18 furnace version, what you want to do is, hopefully you will not have actually built it yet and waited to see how you're going to expand it so that you can see what you should not build. But if you did build everything, you're just going to want to go out and take out what I'm taking out right now. So you just want to kill all this stuff here, except for this redstone block right here, so that those pistons are not working. Then you want to just continue taking this stuff out, just like so, and make sure no items fall into any of the hoppers. Just try to be careful about that. And then what you want to do is also take out these hoppers here and these blocks there. Then you just want to place more furnaces here. So if you want to go just 2 times bigger, you're just going to want to put 9 more furnaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on each side, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll just cut to when I have all the hoppers in place and stuff. So you should now have all your hoppers placed in, facing into the tops of the furnaces and into the sides of the furnaces. So now what you want to do is just go ahead and begin placing your powered rails, beginning with the bottom rows, like so, and place them all along to the end. And here at the end, you're going to want to place the redstone blocks above those end ones, and have the same thing here at the end as you had previously, as you had on the smaller version. So you just want to have 2 blocks out like this on the tops, and your powered rails on the top row, stretching all the way along like this. Then you want to extend this gray line all the way along over this redstone blocks and down to here. And you're just going to want to place a repeater there and continue the dust all the way down. You want to have your, you're going to want to have an updater piston there in a moment. But I don't have that on me, so I'll just place these pistons here, you're going to want to have a redstone block on the face of that piston there. And take your gray and have a long line stretching out like this from that redstone block there, with a redstone all along it like this. And that is what's going to be turning it off from now on, just that line. And then you just want to have a block up like this with redstone dust on top of it and block those two off. Then you just want to come down like so and come all the way along just like this with redstone on all of these blocks, just like so. And I believe you do not need a repeater. That's right, if you are only making this 2 times its normal size, you will not need a repeater for these bottom rows here. You will, however, need a repeater up here. Then what you want to do is grab your updater piston and place it here, if you haven't already done that. And you then want to take your hoppers and continue this line all the way across like so, and stick it out one, come across here like this, and along all of these furnaces until the system that we had before. And that should be the entire system done for the 2x version, the 2 times larger. So now if we just come in here to the etho clock, you're going to want to go in and add 7 more items. So if you're making it 2 times bigger, you're going to want to add 7 more items. 3 times bigger, you want to add 14 more items, etc., etc. It's just multiples of 7. So you would have 21 items in here if it was the 3 long version, the 3 times larger version. You would put 21 items in there. But as you can see now, if we go ahead and flick this thing on, it will all work nice and smoothly. As you can see, as soon as that activates, it will take longer to activate, of course, but the minecarts will run all the way to the end, and then it will turn off. They'll stay there for the appropriate time to pick up the items, and go over to the end, and come back. And as you can see, it's all working nice and fine. So if we just go ahead and turn that off, as you can see, it's off now. And that is how you enlarge it to 2 times its normal size. Just a quick note. A moment ago I forgot to place in these powered rails on the bottom here. In which case, the minecarts that were taking the fuel got stuck over here. Make sure you do not make the same mistake I did. Make sure you just place in these powered rails at the end here, and make sure all the power rails are placed in. You just want to double check everything, make sure it is like it is supposed to be, like it is in the tutorial and in these little fix sections, as you can see here. Alright, so as you can see, I just expanded this here to the 3 times larger version, and a few minor changes. It's just these redstone blocks were moved over by 3 blocks. Previously they were right here, so you just move them over so that they power all the rails, and you don't have to have 3 sets of blocks with the, you can just mess around with those blocks with a 3 times larger version and a 4 times larger version, etc., if you really want to go that large. But you pretty much just repeating it. And here is just the same thing, just added in repeaters right here and a repeater up here as well. And it's all the same system, just with long lines stretching out underneath and above it. So as you can see, if we just come over here and down in the hopper clock, there are now 21 items, like I said before. So as you can see, those all ran out. They're going to begin coming back in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. And then it switches, just like so. Alright, so just a quick note right now is I did just remove 1 item from the hopper clock for the 3 times larger version, because it was turning off. These power drills were turning off the moment the minecarts got back. So as you can see, it's still not enough. I'm gonna have to remove another item from it. So 765, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remove that item. But yeah, you may have to play around with the hopper clock a little bit. I just found that 7 isn't the perfect number going all the way to 3. But now you can see it worked. And it stays there for a while. So right now there's 19 items for the 3X version. So it'll come back and turn off. And there we go. So for the 3 times larger version, you want to have 19 items in it. And you can go experimenting with it if you want to go larger. And yeah, just experiment it with yourself. You can change it up. It's fine by me, you know. Maybe make it a little smaller, who knows. But let's just grab a stack of iron and a stack of gold just to demonstrate this thing. And that's another thing that can sometimes happen, which I'm kind of glad that just happened, so that I could show it off, is that sometimes when you flick it off, this turns the line on when this is already on. If that makes any sense. This piston then extends and turns this line on while this is on, which means that it cannot turn off to allow this repeater to unlock that repeater. So that piston remains extended despite the fact that it's supposed to be off, and the minecarts just go without stopping. So the way to fix that is simply just flick this lever and just flick it again. You just flick it in 2 seconds and flick it again. And as you can see, it fixes the system. So now let's just plop our items into here and let them drain down. And I'm not actually going to wait for the sake of efficiency. I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it run so that you all can see the glory of 18 plus 18 is 36 plus 18 is 50, I can't do math right now, 54, I believe. And there you go, all of these furnaces on at one time. That is awesome. That is truly awesome. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like down there. And if you want to see more stuff like this, more Redstone videos in the future, and also other series that I'm going to be doing, I am going to be getting a capture card in the next few days, so I can begin doing some console videos, and I can do some Steam games. I haven't gotten around to that just yet, but I will soon. Just believe me, good things are in store for the channel. So make sure to subscribe if you are excited about all that stuff. There will be a world download for this world down in the description if you would just want to download it and check it out for yourselves, you know, mess around with the stuff, see how it all works. And I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. I'm Hobbs_1, and